I told you it's going to be a busy day. Hey, my name is Van Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. A quick update, a quick one, because day is not done. Got 2 meetings to go, and slowly kind of working through. I don't know why I say slowly. Slowly, back and forth. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Crafting, I think is what we call it, the fancy word, crafting. Setting up, breaking down, and then setting up again. It's kind of what today was about, because I'm slowly crafting my way through a lot of work that I've done the last couple of months and trying to kind of extract the essence, because one of the things that you need to do is in order to win new business and new engagements is that you need to kind of gain some trust with future clients or even current clients. They want to know what you're doing. And then, you have to kind of relay what you've done. And they don't want to see the big picture. They want to see the big picture. Sorry, I'm saying the wrong thing here. They want to see the big picture. They don't want to know all the detail. So it's really hard for me to look at a lot of the work that I've done and then say, okay, in 2 sentences, what is it? But it's important. You have to be able to say that. And in fact, I had a great conversation with a good friend of mine, Scott Gold. He's an author, speaker, just like a general, awesome dude to have conversations with. And he doesn't pull his punches. Has a good sense of humor, and kind of guiding me through a few thoughts that I've had about certain things I want to do in the future, a project or 2 that I've got in mind. But then it's kind of it's refreshing to have a conversation with someone and having honest feedback, triggering some thoughts around what I could potentially do, what I should do. And that's the other thing that you always have to think about, right, is that the fact that you could do something doesn't mean that you should be doing it. And I have this little project that I have in mind, and I can't say too much about it because it's a bit sensitive. That I'm thinking of crafting, and it could cost me a fair amount of my own time and investment. And I'm not sure if I want to do it. And kind of sat down with Scott today to talk about it. But then also gaining his perspective, and not necessarily for him to tell me if I should do it or not. It's just to kind of do that research to see what he would say. And then perhaps I'll have the same conversation with 2 of my other friends, and hopefully a cousin or 2, because my good cousin in South Africa is always a great person to bounce things off. But I'm a bit too nervous to talk to him. He might be too brutally honest. But so there is a little project that I'm thinking about, but I'm not really sure if I should bring it to fruition or not, because the thing is, it comes back to, should I be doing it? And what is it going to bring me, and what is it going to bring potential people that I intend to serve with this product? The one thing that I am a bit worried about, and this is something that I've kind of seen during the course of my career, I am a details guy. Sometimes I think I'm not, but I am a details guy. I like to understand what is the details about something. And in my conversation with Scott, I had this interesting thought. I mean, he had the thought. Wow, I'm really correcting myself a lot through this conversation, right? But I'm kind of flying with the seat of my pants here. So he came up with this thought after looking at the work I've done, the preliminary work, and after I've shared some of my thoughts with him. And this kind of resonates with me, because I think there's a lot of people out there, and this is important. If you think about Simon Sinek and all these other things, it's also been overplayed a little bit. It's like, what is your why? Why are you doing something? Before you do something, you need to ask yourself why. And that's important, right? It's become a bit of a buzz thing, but you need to know your why. That's super important. And I need to ask myself, why am I doing this? But I also think that what has happened is that it's now tipping over to the one side, where a lot of people are, especially in my field, talking about the why. Why should we be serving our customers? Why should we be thinking about human beings first? Why should we use empathy? It's been asked so many times that and it's important, and then everybody's asking the why, but no one is actually talking about the how. Like, how do you serve your customers when you've decided on your why? How do you get to the product that you want to design? And I'm really a guy who plays in the how. Now, the problem is with how is that for the life of me, I find it really hard to make how sound simplistic. And to an extent, I think that the why should be simple. You shouldn't be overbaking it. But when it comes to how, you should have a bit of detail. You should have a bit of kind of muscle behind it, some intricacy. And I'm not talking about typical consulting kind of fluff, like just making things complicated to make it seem complicated. It's adding the rigor. I like that word, the rigor, the work behind to get things done. I mean, like if I can use an analogy, when I watch my dad do his woodwork, he doesn't slap a few sticks together with glue and then decide this is a chair. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of iteration. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of thinking and planning to do things. And then even when you do that, sometimes even the result sucks, right? So you have to go back and do it again and up your skills. And that is not something that can be simplified. And I mean, that's not what Scott said, but, maybe there is some simplicity that can be brought into that. So it's kind of like the things that I'm thinking about at the moment. Not that you would find it super interesting, but this is what's going around in my mind. That being said, the indication extraordinary is that I indeed had a great conversation today, and it went much longer than I thought. And those are the best conversations to have. Also, a little bit of good news is that my son has finally had his cast removed because the little tyke fell out of his little jungle gym, broke his arm a couple of weeks ago, got infection, had both mom and dad freak out, and then today he now has the cast removed. And apparently, because I haven't seen him yet, he doesn't know what to do with his extra arm because he's been tied down for so long. Like, what do I do with this thing now? So it's going to be really exciting and interesting to see him as he arrives. We also have to be careful because he mustn't overstrain this little arm now. And parents are also going to be extra careful not to damage the poor guy. Shame. He takes a punishment here with us sometimes. I think sometimes we don't realize that he's a little timid little 4-year-old going on 5. And sometimes we treat him like just one of us. He's still a little terrorist though. And that being said, he also might be treated like one of us, but he's also the boss baby. That's definitely the house. He's the boss. He calls the shots, takes over everything, and he's the master of disaster. So I'm talking about him because I'm really excited about him coming back soon. And in the meantime, I'll be having a lot of thinking and also kind of definition because I am working on my profile and some of the work I've done to kind of distill it down to something that will open doors. Because boy, I need some doors opened up very soon. Because I need to open a door of a house in Brodnica. We need to get that thing furnished. Hey, curtains don't come for free. In any case, if you have any curtains to spare, the address is in show notes. Thanks for listening.